Good morning. My name is Colette Morris and I am head teacher of Christchurch Primary in Battersea. I'm going to talk to you this morning about the benefits of outdoor learning and also the things that children have said about why being outdoors is important for them. And then thirdly, the benefits in the light of COVID as we begin our recovery. So in 2010, briefly, I'll go through, we found that our pupils were spending too much time indoors. So they had playtimes, but when they went home, due to long parent working hours or limited access, they were spending more and more time inside. And on the flip side of that, there was a growing body of evidence of the benefits of being outdoors, not only the mental health and well-being benefits, but also the learning opportunities that it offered, particularly younger children. So we started a secret garden project, which led to me doing an MA in 2013, which underpinned our work with horticulture as a vehicle for learning. And this has developed and grown, and the benefits are clear. In last year, I decided that I would take a group of 6 of our Year 6s to talk to Southwark head teachers about the benefits of outdoor learning, because actually it was more important that the children spoke about how important it was for them than adults spoke about the benefits. And what they said and what they chose to speak about, I think, is very powerful. So Aisha spoke about learning being more exciting and fun. So learning and enjoyment being inextricably linked for her. That it was exciting, that it was fun, that it was memorable when they were outside. And for her, working with an author in the garden, writing garden tales and publishing the book was something that she talked about. And she also talked about when she took parents round our school to encourage them to send their children there. Will Noah spoke about garden and being outside as what's the point? So being really clear that you have to really look at what's the point of doing this. And he talked about the importance of learning about the environment and about nature, so you can understand how to grow food and look after the planet. He talked about the future and how if you don't understand and know about nature, you can't plan for a future that's going to be healthy, where everybody will be well. Lewis talked about resilience, and he talked about growing from seed. We grow everything from seed. We have greenhouses now, and we have the opportunities to do that built into our curriculum. And he talked about how you learn that sometimes things don't grow, and that if you keep trying, you will be successful. But you also have to learn about disappointment, and being able to manage all that makes you resilient. Micaiah talked about outside as being always interesting. He talked about the multi-layers of learning there are outside. I think when he said that outside is always interesting, you get the flip side of that. That inside is not always as interesting. He talked about the learning that you go out to do not being the only learning that you get when you're outside. But if you're doing a maths task, say measuring and working out area, then you might learn the names of some bees and some insects as well. Melody talked about mental health and well-being, and she had suffered a bereavement in the previous year. And the outside for her had been a place to breathe and to be. And she became our outdoor learning lead that year, with responsibility for all the garden leaders in every class. There were 2 other children who also spoke about the opportunity to learn. So we'd taken part in developing some puppet making and took those puppets, which were bees and butterflies, and used some plays that had been written to help children understand what insects do in their environment and how they benefit it. So from those children talking about that, they had outdoor learning from their nursery years till year 6. And they were able to talk very eloquently about how it had benefited and impacted on their lives. They grew into very balanced young people with the vocabulary of nature, as well as the rigours of learning an indoor curriculum. As Christchurch, we have almost a curriculum in 2 parts. We have morning learning, which is your maths and your English, and really focused, really structured. And then an afternoon, which branches out outside. We've now created not only a secret garden, we have a perfume garden, we have a bee kind garden, and we have a nursery garden, we have an atrium, we have indoor plants. Again, to really teach children about that importance of their environment. Now, in the light of COVID, the garden gained another importance. So it wasn't just the learning. It wasn't just the opportunity to learn on multi-layers, but it was the opportunity, I think, that Melody talked about more, where you could just be. And through the summer of 2020, we really saw children who came in, because we stayed open for garden opportunities through the summer. We did food boxes with our fruit and vegetables. And there were children who came in and worked in the garden with their parents with social distancing. And sometimes when you watched them, you could just see that opportunity just to be watering and thinking and looking with all that was going on. Parents really valued the opportunity to come in and to spend time with their children in the outdoors, doing something constructive. We built in quite a lot of learning of the families of fruit and vegetables as we went through. And staff too really value the opportunity to be outside, not only through initially the classroom work that they did, taking learning outside, but now staff will come in or pop in to do some gardening, because they too don't have access to gardens themselves. And they value that opportunity just to come and be. The benefits are tangible. And I think it's really important that as we move forward, we think about increasing the opportunity for all children to have that time outside, not just children, actually adults, because our staff benefit as much as the children from being outside. Because as a teacher, you can come in at 7 o'clock in the morning and go home at 7 o'clock at night, and you've never been outside. And I think also our teachers that are creating lessons at home, the same applies. They're sitting in front of screens from 7 in the morning till 7 at night, and they're not going outside. Whereas if you have that opportunity built in, there are things that have to be done in the garden. And so I'll put out a timetable, and staff will have times where they'll go out and they talk about the value that they place on that. So I understand we're locked down at the moment, but if you do want to come and visit, please, you are welcome to Christchurch in Battersea. We're in Battersea Street. But also, please think about the opportunities that children are going to be given in the future, not limiting it to being inside. Outside is the way forward. Thank you.